So give yourselves a woo. Woo! Oh, y'all are good. But you gotta get the hands going too. So okay, will you do it again? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Woo!
All right, good morning. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, Lisa, and good morning, Brenda, our guest today, Brenda Ryan. Y'all are going to really be blessed to hear from Brenda. She is such an amazing woman of faith and top networker and just a fun lady. So we are so excited to have you on with us today.
Thank you so much, Delinda. I'm really excited about being here with you, y'all.
We love it. So I'm getting, we do just a little catching up as we get started. So first of all, we usually have to have our weather countdown, right? Vegas out here, we're still over the hundreds. We're doing. Oh, we had one day, I think, like about 90. It was so refreshing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think you could notice that kind of difference, but you really do. And we've had some thunderstorms, which for us is unusual, but it's been so nice. It made me feel like I was back in the Midwest or something.
Yeah.
So it has been. But
pleasant,
then Brenda, you were telling us you've got major weather issue. You've been over 100. How many days down in Fort Worth?
67 days.
67 days. I think you got us beat.
It was crazy, but we survived. So that's the main thing.
Yeah. And lots of rain and flooding going on too. So keeping those people that are dealing with that in our prayers. And Kathy coming in from Kansas City, what's your weather like? We've got to have our weather, whatever it is, weather update every Tuesday morning. They've had some nice weather. Alicia said it was really nice yesterday. She was taking Henry out to go play, of course. And she says it's gorgeous. All right. So those of you who may be watching just that little link that announced the show, you have to click that to get permission for your name to show. So we want to know who you are. Otherwise, you're going to come across as a just Facebook user. Okay. Oh, 70s and 80s. That's kind of perfect. Yeah, that's great. So we are... Let's see, do we have one more Tuesday or is this, we have 7. So we do still have one more Tuesday in the month. This must be a 5 Tuesday month. Okay. She says, what link? Okay. So do you have that, Lisa, that you could put that, or if you go to the announcement in Facebook, it says there right after it talks about coming on the show, there's a little link under there that whichever the 3 pages you might be looking at. So, and sometimes that's what gets a little confusing because we simulcast on all 3 of the Facebook pages. So depending on what page you are, some of them show up better. I don't know. I don't design the technology. We just use it, right? And get to just see what is going on there. So, and remember that whenever you make a comment, your name goes on the wheel. So the first Tuesday in September, we'll be doing the wheel for winners for being on and making comments on the show. So we love that. And, you get a Starbucks gift card, so can't beat that. If you don't drink coffee, they do have really good tea and other stuff. Mm-hmm. And so it's nice. Oh, there's Miss Karen. Good morning. Like, woo, back to you. Love that. Well, as we get going this morning, so Brenda, let's start out and just tell us a little, like, personally about you. Married, single kid. I know you've got grandkids. What do you want us to know about you just as a person?
Well, as a person, I live in Fort Worth, Texas. I was born and raised here, ran around a little bit, but I came right back because I get to live on the lake. So yes, I love that. And my son lives here with my grandson that turned 1 this week, and then my 11-year-old granddaughter, and then my daughter and her family live in Houston that I run around to all the time. And he's going to be 3 in November. So that, and I live with my dog and 2 cats. There you go. There's the synopsis.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I knew you went in and out a good bit. So how far is that? So do you drive to Houston then?
I do. Well, and I've tried different things. I've flown, I've ridden a bus, I've done this and that, but I love my car, and there's places I like to stop along the way. And so, yeah, I usually drive. It's about 3.5 hours, just about in there, and not too far. And I love me time in that regard too. Gives me things to think about, or podcasts to listen to, or music, or whatever. So, and I don't spend a lot of time not doing stuff when I'm in my zone here.
Yeah, I always love to drive. It's kind of like, and I used to drive by myself a lot. Now that Bill's retired, he kind of comes with me, which is great, but it's totally different. You know, if somebody's in the car with you. But when I'm by myself, I put on books on tape, or I practice my music. I mean, I'm just like in my zone. I have to say, I really love it.
Mhm.
But in the car with him, we don't have really anything on, and it's like, I don't know. So it's trade-offs. Which one is
Exactly.
best, right? So
Exactly.
crazy. What about Lisa? Do you like to drive? I don't know that we've talked about that.
I'm not real big on it. I'm not really a big traveler. As I've said, I'm like the hermit that nobody knows about because I get out anyway, but but I'm kind of a hermit introvert. So
So you just should be in your zone of your house.
Yes,
with
my
all
favorite.
of your equipment and stuff, playing with all your stuff.
Yes.
And all your projects, because you always have so many projects going on. Thanks, Lisa, for putting that in there. Hopefully, whoever was looking can find that. So, Brenda, you picked our word this morning, and I love it. It's a great word. So, tell us about the word. Tell us the word and why you chose it.
Collaboration. And the reason I picked it is because we talk a lot about it in business, but business and life go hand in hand together for me. And since this is a Christian show, I don't mind sharing the fact that I collaborate, or actually, God collaborates with me. And I so value that because it means so much to me to know that I'm not alone. I don't have to figure it all out by myself. And that if I can just do my part uh, and head in that direction, it's going to be whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish. It's going to be a good day to get on with it, and give me whatever it is I need, whether it's confidence or skill or words, whatever I need. I just feel like that when we collaborate with our friends, with the people in our church, with people on a screen, and I love that part because my background, my degree is guidance and counseling and education, and I don't talk about it much, but I'm used to people collaborating with me, asking me questions about this and that and the other, and so for me, collaborating is just the only way to really be helpful to somebody else, and to also receive incredible ideas from other people. And I just love the idea of springboarding and jumping back and forth with people. Maybe I'm contributing to them, maybe they're contributing to me, and that's what I love about collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is great. How would you simply define that? I mean, just kind of in a simple manner. And you too, Lisa, just because I think there's some, there may be some out there that have heard the word and maybe are already doing it, but don't really know that that's what they're doing.
I agree. I think that that's the truth. I think that we don't use that word, and really, I hadn't thought of it in that regard until business popped up and the word collaboration just kept coming and going, and celebrating and connecting and all that kind of stuff. I think anytime anybody connects, and I don't mean on a selling level, but on a level, a get to know you level, I think that's the only way to do life in general. And we don't live in a world without people, and the people that are around us, even my grandson. It's so fun to watch his big blue eyes. He doesn't talk. He doesn't walk. I'm still holding him and stuff. But just to look at his face and smiling at me, I mean, that's a collaboration to me because he's giving me joy. I'm giving him this great big smile that he loves to smile at. And I mean, from across the room, he's leaning to me and wanting me to come and get him. I put my, because we were having a birthday brunch this weekend, I put my cake and water down and went after him and got him out of my son's arm because he was just coming at me. And so I don't know how to put it in regular. I mean, I could look it up in Webster's dictionary, but when you're in a relationship with somebody, to me, that's collaborating and giving and taking, and for the better good. I mean, we can all think better when we've got somebody else, two heads better than one, just to come up with a really good solution or a really good idea to move forward in life or in business.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Lisa?
Well, I mean, if we want the definition and the base word means to work to, and then the last part means together. And basically, I think it's when we all get together with one heart and one mind is kind of what I like to think of it as, and work to create something. Now, what that creation is, I don't, it can be many, many different things. It can be spiritual, it can be temporal, or both. And so, collaboration is really, in my opinion, kind of a spiritual end game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Agree. Mm-hmm.
Well, especially because the goal of collaboration is to get to a better something, a better idea, a better event, a better committee, of whatever that is. And I think it's the attitude to which we come in, and the word the word collaboration kind of takes us to a place of wanting to share. Whereas sometimes when we're in gatherings with other people, if you don't set it up to collaborate, then it's almost, takes that other twist of maybe competing, like whose idea is the best idea. There's a whole different agenda, so to speak. Whereas when you go into it to collaborate, then you really want, it's cool to me. It's basically, that's what masterminds are, right? You get people together, sharing these ideas, and the end result is something totally different than one person could have come up with by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
I completely agree. I think
when the end result becomes more important than each other, you can really create something quite amazing. And I've been in some really good collaborative groups where the creative power really goes exponential when everybody's, like you said, Belinda, that we quit worrying about ourselves and really just start to contribute together on a total basis.
I think sometimes the ego takes over when it becomes a competition, as opposed to the opportunity to build something really good and collaborate with other people, whether it's my grandson or my business or Delinda or whatever it is. Even Lisa, I haven't just met you a second ago. I'm sure it would be a lot of fun to do this together, so, and that's what I feel like we're doing right now. So I'm so happy you invited me to come and talk about this word with you.
Yes, I love it. I think one of the collaborations that I've seen a lot in the last couple of years is books that have many authors. And Lisa, I know you're in the book publishing area, so where everybody and right off the top of my head, I can't think of any names of them, but I'm sure y'all have noticed. So you get a book about women who are survivors or something like that. Matter of fact, I think one of the books that I've read was Unstoppable, and it was great in just hearing all their stories. So they came together to bring hope and purpose to other people. They collaborated on the book for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure y'all have seen some of that too. Mm-hmm. Oh, we have some comments going on out here.
Yay, I'm glad they like it.
Yes, that's great. That's good, Kathy and Karen, both. Those are good comments.
Yeah. You're talking about the books and things like that. So, those are collections of of usually they have a topic that they go together on, and they can be very powerful. Even one of the collaboratives that we work on in my area is that we get together and we find a family in our ward church, and we say, hey, this family needs XYZ, and we get in a council together, and then we delegate all those different things to the different auxiliaries to help that family fix that challenge. So those are really cool ways within our church communities that we can also collaborate and get in and do a lot of good. And it's amazing what happens when you have more minds, like you said, Belinda, in the mastermind, and more hands to do things. Like you think of things you've never thought of before. It opens a lot of possibilities.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the fact that if you have people with different skills, sometimes they, we're bring a group together who are all the same. The collaboration won't be the same. Often, and you see that in churches where different people come together. Somebody might be really good with their hands and can do some fix-up stuff. Somebody else, they really can't, but they can donate, money to pay for the something. Somebody else loves to shop and they can go shopping. It's just fun how everybody can get together and everybody can do something. And so that's a great example of, helping each other from a personal way.
Yeah,
I think it's really important to be able to get together with other people. If you don't know your gifts already, you discover them. You discover what you can contribute, what's good for you. When you all were talking about church, I was thinking about committees. I've done a lot of committee work, and it's interesting for somebody to be able to be social media. It's interesting for somebody. We have a food train for a couple that is getting older and can't help themselves as much. And so I'm on that. And when you collaborate, then we can take care of each other in a bigger way. And there's just so many opportunities. I'm not particularly gifted in cooking, but I do it anyway. So it's, sometimes we need to challenge ourselves into seeing what needs to be done and see how we can fill it. But I want to tell you one thing. Once upon a time, I don't have a particularly big left brain. Lisa, you probably could fill mine completely. But and so my daughter said, "Oh, Mom, you need to develop your left brain skills." And I'm going, "Okay, I can dig in, I can do this, and I can just really accept the challenge and all that." And then immediately, and I think everybody needs to hear this, immediately God told me, "No, I gave you your gift. You're the person that's supposed to be dreaming, creating, coming up with these ideas and this and that, the other, and collaborating with other people." And that doesn't feed my left brain because that's not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be in relationship and collaborate with the people that are, because relationships are the ones where we get to discover who we are and then be able to contribute our part, while somebody else has theirs and they get to contribute to me and each other. So I think that's the beautiful part of collaboration in all settings. I can't imagine leaving it out. It's just so important. I thought I'd throw that in.
Well, if what I'm hearing, Brenda, is that you're saying that if we're, doing one thing and we're part of that collaboration, we don't have to be everything to everybody.
That's exactly right. I can't imagine me being able to contribute on something I know nothing about. That's why we need each other. That's the beauty of creation, I think, and the gifts that we've been given. And God certainly has done a great job not trying to force me into my left brain that I'd have to start all over again. I'd have to have another life to be able to come up with all that.
Well, Belinda knows that I don't have the same skill set she has, nor would I ever try.
Yeah.
So. Well, and vice versa. That's what's so amazing. When I look at my life, and those of y'all who've been listening for a while, know this, because and I used to look, so Brenda, what you're saying, I have some of the left brain stuff. You know, I like the organization. I sort of like admin stuff, but there's just certain levels I can only go to. But what's cool is how God has brought the people in my life. I look at my life now and I say, boy, God, you are amazing. Lisa and Kathy are two in particular who they bring in that other side that is not my best skill set. Can I do some, just like you, Brenda, I'm sure,
Yeah.
we can do some of it, but that's not our forte. So as they help, it's like we're this team, together, and we're locking arms, and, hopefully I'm doing some of the things that help generate the good things for them. But I know they definitely do for me. And as you look in your circle of friends and people that you work with, possibly, when you really look and say, gosh, but we're all so different. Yeah. And sometimes that's really good. We don't need everybody to be exactly like us, because we're not going to achieve as much. We're not going to just have as much joy. When I look the people, like I say, the people in my life, I look at all the Fun Fearless, so many of the Fun Fearless gals, we have our luncheon, our live in-person luncheon this week. And when looking around the room, and when I do, I'm always just amazed at the different personalities, the different skills. And sometimes when I've had two ladies, this is the coolest thing, which is exactly what you're talking about, Brenda, that have both volunteered for the event that we're going to have in February. And I said, what I'm thinking is I'd like to buddy people up, like people coming in from out of town, connect with a buddy here. So if they have any questions about town or whatever, and two of them said, well, I'll go pick up people at the airport. And it's like, wow, now that is pretty darn cool. Just had somebody yesterday, and I said, you may regret saying this to me. And she said, no, I would love it. Pick them up, and then I get to visit and get to know them in the car. So to me, that is collaboration, and others. One of the gals last month at the luncheon said, well, I'll handle the gift bags. I'll get the gift bags together for it. It's like, yay. Okay. So it is cool how we come together, and that's her gift. She loves to go out and find donations from people, like for the goodie bags and stuff. So it's cool how if we allow ourselves to say, I don't really know how to do everything. I know how to bring people together, but I don't know how to do all the other details. So Lisa is designing the landing page, and we have all these other people, and it's like, that's sort of how life works if we allow it. And that's the key, I think, is putting your ego aside. It's okay to say, I don't know how to do all of these things, but I'm looking for ideas. Who has an idea of how we could do this particular thing better or more efficiently, or what kind of idea can we do? And that is just the joy of doing the collaboration. I think you're right.
I really, really enjoy it. And like you, Delinda, yeah, I know enough of what I need to do, and that's okay. I still wish it was somebody else doing it, but I can do that part. But when it gets into the details of the website and all this, that, and the other, and even my computer mess up, glitches, whatever, it's like, okay, I need some help. I have no idea if it doesn't work. I need help. I don't need to try and get in there and dig in, because my curiosity is not the only thing. My curiosity is going to do if I do something like that is get me in trouble. And I know that. And so therefore it's time for me to back up and call in the village. I need the village. Need all the help I can get.
Well, and for those who don't think that they have the ability to offer anything in a group, that's why you need to be there really the most, is because, all of us will help you find that. Because, when you're in a really good group of networking, and especially females, and we get to know each other and we're buzzing around, you'll very quickly be assigned and find something that you can do. And actually fun to actually watch that happen.
Yeah, it is. And then you get to share in the blessing of it. I mean, it's for all of us. It's not just for one of us. There's no glory in one of us. It's why we were created differently. We would be so bored if we were all alike. I mean, what is the point of even getting out if we're all the same? That would be so boring. And oh gosh, I can't even imagine that. I don't even want to think about that. Oh my gosh. We definitely need each other, and that's why.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, God just made us that way, and particularly women. We're not afraid to say that that we're better together. Women, we can accomplish so much more, and each can be very powerful. Each woman, each of you out there is very powerful in your own right. I mean, of what God's called you to do. But when you come around with other women, like-minded, other Christian women that have the same ultimate goal in life that you do, it's amazing. It goes to different dimensions. I mean, it's like multiplies, not just adds another person. That exponentially, I guess would be the right word for that. And it's wonderful to be a part of, and it's wonderful to watch it happen. Like you said, Lisa, when you see it happening in groups, and you see those, everybody can shine. Y'all know shine is one of my favorite words about, like shine like stars in the universe. God, we're each stars out there, and if we're really shining in the gifts that He gave us, and then you put us together, now like, okay, we light up the world, right?
Constellation, yeah. That's powerful.
Very, very powerful. And Brenda, briefly tell us, because basically your job, what you do, your business is collaborating. I mean, you've got so tell us a little bit on so that they know what you do. You bring people together.
Well, I'll say something before I do that real quick, because I was going to launch into just one other word, which is serving. And in our collaboration, that's another way to look at it, because if we bring our gifts, and I'm paying attention to my right brain, if I bring my gift to collaborate, then I'm serving in the way that I can best. So for the people out there that that kind of are kind of not exactly understanding it all, that's the purpose of it. That's the purpose of collaboration, is to serve each other like Christ serves us, and we want to serve Him. So the word serving is definitely big in my world, and I'll tell you why. Here's the referral resource guide, and this is the referralresourceguide.com. This is where you'll find out more about me, there it is. I know you can't see it, but there it is. And and I'll show you the other thing up close, because this is where you're going to find all the information about the products, the services, the people I represent and I promote. Yes, I'm a connector. Yes, I'm wanting to bring you the best of the best, because I personally screen and qualify everybody as a business with integrity. I do not want you to have to go to Yelp, Angie's List, Google, all that stuff, because those are public reviews. And as probably many of you know, they can be manipulated to tear a good company down, build a bad one up. I don't want you to have to suffer that. I put this in your mailbox for free. And the reason I'm going to show you a little bit closer look of this is because it not only says businesses with integrity, but it says serving, that word I was talking about, from Fort Worth, Texas to the global community. So that means wherever it is you are, that you're listening to this in the United States, out of the United States, wherever it is, there are people, web developers and all kinds of people, virtual services, even Delinda, that can bring people together in a really positive way to benefit and care for each other, no matter where they live. So I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. And I have been serving in this capacity the last 18 and a half years. And I put this in your mailbox for free if you let me. So please contact me. I don't know where to put my contact information, or I do it, but that's what I do, is I mail out over 6,000 of these all over the world, as well as definitely I have 12,000. I can send one to you right now if you want one, because that's what I do. I have to make sure that I take care of you as best anybody possibly could, without you having to go through the pain of trying to believe in public reviews where that isn't always a positive place to be. So I'm Brenda Ryan, and I'm the founder and publisher, and it makes me so happy to have known Delinda for a while. I don't even know why I said that. For a while, and we have collaborated back and forth with a group I also run. And it's just a joy to get to share what I know and my experience with the way I've been living life to share with you now. It means so much. And Lisa, I look forward to getting to know you better.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I went to your website. It's very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to make sure that if there's anything anybody needs, I can provide it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and Brenda, I did put you can probably see it on the thing. I put the referralresourceguide.com on there. I actually clicked your like us on Facebook link, but I'm not sure that it works in the comment box. It does. I can't tell that it does that. Do you want a phone number in there, or do you have email?
Oh, yeah, I'd love that. That's the wonderful thing. I would love for you to directly contact me. It is 817-247-6401.
Okay. 817-247-6401.
Yes. Thank you.
I'll put it right up here, and that way they can write that down, or they can check the chat later. After when we finish, it'll always be there. So
okay. And will this be playing again? Is this something I can go watch and see the chats and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. So
yay! Ladies, I'm so happy.
yeah. It will be on the 3. So it's on the Fun Fearless page, and it will also be on my personal page and my speaker page. As well as it will be on my YouTube channel. So you'll have lots of places you can go find it if you want.
And I'll bet I can share it too, can't I?
And I bet you can.
Yeah, see, I know a few things.
Yes, and we would love that. Just one more little shout out for Brenda is that she also runs a Christian networking group. It's men and women. And I had the privilege of being a speaker. She has speakers on her group. And it was just so nice. That was so nice. That was right when we first met each other. You took a chance on me. It's like, you didn't even know me. But I felt so honored that you did. And Brenda, I don't remember the name of the group. What is the name of your group?
It sounds crazy because we used to meet in person. It's called the Fort Worth Development Group. Fort Worth Development Group. And but people from Canada, from the Netherlands, from all over the United States. I mean, it's just amazing. I just love that it is meaningful to people. We take a word, we focus on it for a quarter. And so we have 4 focus words of the month, and somebody from the group speaks. And then we get to talk about it. We get to collaborate and share experiences and what the word meant to us from that speaker. So it's just wonderful. I hope you all would think about joining us. We do have a Facebook group page.
Okay, and so they could reach out. They could call you. You give them the information, send them the link or whatever. That's
yes, happy to. Thank you, Delinda. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. We can't have enough ways to collaborate and get together as Christians. I mean, it's just nice when you can start out with like-minded people and hearing the stories of the things that are important to other people. Sometimes we get to hear testimony type of things. We don't so much on this platform, but I know on Brenda's you do. So I encourage y'all to reach out to her. And I know she's one of us that likes to do one-on-ones. I know. So I don't know how many of y'all are listening out there. If you want to actually get in touch and have a real, a little more personal connection, we would love that. So
sure.
We are at the top of the hour, and we're going to bring it to a close here. Lisa, what's one last thing in the realm this morning you'd like to share with us?
Make use of collaboration. Don't be afraid of it. When you get into a group, try to just embrace it and enjoy it. And I think you'll come away from it being greatly enriched.
Awesome. One last word or so from you, Brenda.
I would say collaboration is building a relationship and getting to find where you might be able to give and find out also that you wind up receiving a lot. So I would say, yeah, please just build relationships and all of a sudden you'll realize you're collaborating.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, I love it. It was a great word. I enjoyed the conversation. Thank you, Brenda, for being on with us.
Thank you, Delinda. I appreciate that.
Always happy to have her. Lisa, Laura wasn't able to be with us this morning. Chances are she's out. She could be out there digging in the dirt. I don't know.
I was going to say, I think she's digging in the dirt.
They've had so much rain and stuff. So you don't know this, Brenda, but Dr. Laura is one of our resident gardeners. She's a master gardener.
Fantastic.
And yeah, it's very cool. So join us sometime when she's on, just to enjoy the conversation.
Exactly. I'd love to. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Remember that life is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Choose to gather with other people. Choose to collaborate, and just watch how much better your life gets as you're giving and serving others. Love you guys. Thanks for being here, and we will see you next week.
Thank you all so much. Appreciate
Bye,
it. Had a good time today. Thank you.